What's up everyone, Nitro here, back yet again with a brand new YouTube video. Today I'm going to be discussing and rambling basically and just reminiscing on the classic Call of Duty Zombies. I recently went back and played the best DLC ever of a video game to ever release. I didn't really know that this was the best DLC for any video game to ever release until I looked into it for nostalgic purposes. Nostalgia is a huge factor on video games, and not just video games, it's music and television and all that, you know, good stuff. But yeah, I'm talking about Zombie Chronicles for Black Ops 3, aka one of the best DLCs to ever been created and to ever been released. It's so good that people to this day still not only play it, but also, you know, discuss the possibilities of a Zombie Chronicles 2. What would a Zombie Chronicles 2 look like in today's age? What game will Zombie Chronicles 2 come out for? Definitely not for Black Ops 3. It would be cool if it did come out for Black Ops 3, but I don't know, maybe Black Ops 6 or 7 or whatever Call of Duty to release a Zombie Chronicles 2, and you know what map will obviously show up on Zombie Chronicles 2. A lot of people love Buried. A lot of people think Buried should be a map on Zombie Chronicles 2. Whatever it is. But yeah, Zombie Chronicles, again, one of the best DLCs ever. And may I just say, something about classic zombies compared to modern day zombies, it just feels, honestly, not just nostalgic, but it just feels right. It just feels correct in my opinion. Like, you take the two zombie modes and you compare them side by side. In my opinion, I think classic zombies 100% beats modern day zombies any day of the week, year, month. I don't know, there's something about those maps and starting off like on round one with just a standard pistol. And if you keep the pistol and you end up pack-a-punching the pistol, you'll get, you know, the Mustang Sally, which they recently just put the Mustang Sallies into Black Ops 7. They introduced the 1911, or reintroduced the 1911, after a lot of fans have been hammering and wanting the 1911 to return to the series for a very long time. I don't think the 1911's been in the series since, honestly, Black Ops 3, because honestly, Black Ops 3 had a different starting pistol, but I think you can pick it up from the random box in Black Ops 3. I might be wrong, it might be Black Ops 2, but yeah, I mean, I remember there was a different starting pistol on Black Ops 4, and obviously in Black Ops Cold War, the game that came out in, 2020? Cold War was the game that changed up the formula, and you can start off with, you know, loadout weapons. I'd say Black Ops 3, I'd say Black Ops Cold War is the game that changes the formula to the modern day. I mean, it did, but also if you go back to Black Ops 3, there is like weapon sets that you can customize your weapon and perk camos and attachments and all that kind of stuff and on your Black Ops 3 weapons. But here's the thing is, they only count for wall buys and also guns that you get from the random box. Like, once you pick up that gun in the game, then you get your customized gun. You don't start off with the customized gun like you do in Black Ops Cold War. Cold War, you just straight off, you know, you straight up just make a custom class, and that custom class that you start that you create in Black Ops Cold War, that's the game that's how you start off the game. That's the class you start off the game with. With the custom classes brings, you know, tons of grinding, not just for camos and attachments, but also perk grinding. Because in Cold War, they introduced custom perks and they added a level to the perk scenes. I think there was like 3 levels, and they definitely expanded that on Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 and so on and so on. But yeah, you had to level up your perks and you can upgrade them and add mods and all that good stuff and jazz. I mean, it's fine and dandy. It adds an extra, layer of customization to the game, but at the same time, it's nice that that customization doesn't exist in Black Ops 3 in earlier variations of the zombies game, because I'm not gonna lie, it just sometimes it's a bit too much. Sometimes it's a bit too much grinding for everything, including all your perks, and because grind a shit ton to make the perks actually viable. You can make them better than the original perks. Your standard pack-a-punch is like what, 200, 250, I think it's 250 health, but you can go up to you go up like 350 health or 300. So that's nice. They did make the perks stronger. They added more health to Juggernaut. I don't know why Juggernaut needed more health. Speak about Juggernaut, holy crap, every time I have Juggernaut, and then eventually when I go down, that's basically the enemy when it comes to zombies, because it's hard for me to recuperate after going down and losing my Jug, and then I had to go run back to Jug, grab the Jug, and majority of the time when I had to run back to Jug and grab the Jug, I end up going down before I even get Jug again, which sucks, completely sucks. But yeah, the older versions of Call of Duty Zombies, something about it was just magical, starting off with round 1 with the pistol and going up from round 1 all the way up to how long you survive. And just, I don't know, the maps themselves, like the different maps, Xenonuma, the Giant, you got Kino the Toten. Kino the Toten is the classic in the theaters, and you can, run up on the stage to, do the train. And the fact that Xenonuma was the first map that introduced dogs, and you have Verrückt, which Verrückt is a rehashing / redoing of a multiplayer map, the multiplayer map being Asylum from War at War. But again, I don't really fault them for reusing assets, especially on the second map to ever release in Zombies history, especially since back in War at War, Zombies was supposed to be a kind of throwaway, random Easter egg mode that you play at the very end of the campaign. You beat the World War campaign, and then you're just instantly, right out of the credits, you're just thrown into Nacht der Untoten. Nacht der Untoten is, again, fantastic map, one of the best, one of the original maps, one of the best to ever done it. It's kind of cool that in Black Ops 3, you can get Mule Kick and also the other perks in the form of Wonder Fids in Black Ops 3. Wonder Fids obviously first was introduced in the map Origins. I don't really care for Origins. I was never a big fan of Origins. The way they do the layout with the trenches confuse the crap out of me in Origins. I will say in Black Ops 2, I really did like Town. Town was like my favorite map of Black Ops 2 Zombies. Granted, Town was a part of, Transit, and I did not care for Transit. I think Transit was too big. I think what they did with the modern day version of Transit, like the remake in Black Ops 7 with Ashes of the Dam, that was fine. The truck was a cool, experience. It was a cool addition to the Zombies formula. Not just that, but I like how they, have Pack-a-Punch on the back of the truck, and you can Pack-a-Punch whenever you want. And the new Transit. Speaking about Transit, people are trying to remake Transit when it comes to Black Ops 3 modded zombies. And I will say, for Black Ops 3, if you have it on PC, tons of people make modded maps to this day. You can have different, experiences and stuff. Speaking about modded maps, a lot of the zombie, big zombie YouTubers like Noah J and Chopper and obviously Mr. Dalek JD, they all recently been having sit-down conversations and podcast type style interviews with the man, myth, legend himself, the guy that really brought us zombies, Jason Blundell. They've been having sit-down interviews with Jason Blundell, and just having Jason Blundell talk about Zombie Chronicles, Black Ops 4 Zombies, Mob of the Dead / Blood of the Dead, and so on, having him ranked zombie maps. Good stuff in my opinion. Jason Blundell is a freaking amazing guy. it's kind of sad that his recent studio that he was working on, and when I say this, he literally unveiled his recent studio not too far ago. I think like literally doing these podcasts, he said, hey, I have this new studio, check it out, we're going to be releasing a new game. And then that studio just got shut down. So we don't know what Jason Blundell is doing now because he doesn't have the new studio anymore, apparently. Maybe he's working on a different game, I doubt it. But again, the fact that we have all these, juicy tidbits of information out now from the man himself, Jason Blundell, that's just amazing. It's impressive in my opinion. It's just nice to hear Jason's inputs on Call of Duty Zombies and just the classic maps. Speaking of the classic maps, I like how not every map, but every other map had its own different theme song. Granted, they still do that to this day. Tomorrow, or maybe this video is already released, but Thursday the 30th, April 30th, 2026, they are releasing a brand new zombies map for Black Ops 7. It's like a CoD map, and that has its own theme song. And Paradox Junction is the map that just came out a month ago. That also had its own theme song, and so on, and all the Black Ops 6 maps, they had their own theme song. So they still do the theme song for the individual zombie maps. But they, started doing that in the beginning with World at War, with 115 and Kino, and the one on Sinonuma. That was revolutionary in my opinion. I think the music artist that they got was a amazing combination. That is a godlike combination of music artists for a rock song. I just like all the thematics. I like the themes of the old map. Even on Moon, you start off and basically, essentially, No Man's Land. You can stay there as long as you want. You can get all the points, but in No Man's Land, you only have your pistol. I think there is Jug, right? Maybe. You just only have your pistol. I think Pack Punch is there. Might be wrong. You only have your pistol, and you gotta kill and fight off literally hundreds and thousands of never endlessly spawning zombies and hellhounds, and I think some special enemies too. Maybe. I don't really remember, but once you do teleport to the space station, you are introduced with the ever-looming stalker of the space astronaut. And it's kind of cool how the space astronaut takes the form of your friends list, and every game there's a new name above the space astronaut's head. I think that's really cool. That was a really cool, good idea that they used in Moon for creativity-wise. Speaking about Mob of the Dead and Blood of the Dead, I mentioned them very briefly earlier. Mob of the Dead, I'd say Town is my favorite Black Ops 2 map, but Mob of the Dead comes to a close second. I love Mob of the Dead. The spirit thing that they did in Mob of the Dead, we had to use that to activate the perk machines and activate the power. I think that was cool, very unique in creativity. But I bring up these maps again, but because Blood of the Dead and Mob of the Dead, those are two of Jason Blundell's favorite maps, and two of the best maps that he was head lead on. And someone did ask him, I forgot who it was, but someone did ask him, when you were making Revelations in Black Ops 3, Revelations being the final Black Ops 3 DLC map, when you were making Revelations, did you have to remake part of Mob of the Dead for that map? Because in that map, it's Origins, Nacht der Untoten, Mob of the Dead, I think maybe one more, but that map is broken up from other zombie maps. And someone asked hey, when you were making Revelations, did you have to remake that portion of Mob of the Dead? Did you import it? Did you export it? How did Mob of the Dead get into Revelations? And also, were you thinking about adding Mob of the Dead in the original Zombie Chronicles? Obviously, he said, we almost did, but not really, because in the back of Jason Blundell's mind, doing the making Zombie Chronicles, he already had an idea for Blood of the Dead. So he kept Blood of the Dead in the back of his mind the entire time that they were doing the Zombie Chronicles DLC. So he had, he was mapping out how Blood of the Dead would go work in his head while also working on an entire set of 8 remastered maps. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. I would like a remaster of Mob. Granted, there is a remaster of Mob in the form of custom zombies, but again, I just would like a remaster of Mob of the Dead. I don't really care for Blood of the Dead myself. I did play it a little bit. I think Blood of the Dead is slightly more confusing and definitely harder than Mob of the Dead. That's just my opinion, but I think again, that's just my opinion. All these are my opinion, but yeah, I also like how each and every other map had like its own design boss fight. Again, Mob of the Dead, Blood of the Dead, you had Brutus being the warden that chases you around throughout the map. That's pretty cool. Ascension was the very first map that I got to really high rounds on. Me and my best friend, we got to about like round 45 with some other random stranger back in the day who basically carried us, but we still got around 45. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Ascension, definitely my favorite Black Ops 1 map. Besides the monkeys can F off. In my opinion, I think the monkeys are annoying, they're tiring, they're exhausting, and I hate how they just run around and steal your perks. And it kind of makes Ascension a little bit hard, a little difficult when you're doing it solo, because you gotta keep an eye and a swivel out on all the perks, because the monkeys can go around and steal them. And again, if they steal, by God, if they steal Juggernaut, I am totally screwed, and it happens to me all the time. But yeah, I just like the atmosphere of the old zombie maps, and obviously nostalgia played a big part of it. Obviously, like I said in the beginning of the video, nostalgia plays a big part of everything, not just video games, but music and TVs and movies. Oh, the Michael movie just came out. That's nostalgia for people that grew up with Michael Jackson music in the 70s and the 80s and all that kind of stuff. Again, I just think classic zombies, something about it just has that oomph. In my opinion, it has obviously the nostalgic factor, the music, the game modes. I like how it's I mean, they're always different maps, but I just like how the maps are built. Some of them are open, some of them are enclosed. It just depends on your preference of zombie map and what you want to play on. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and ideas, and just ramble of a discussion video about how I just want to how I'm reminiscing of the old times when it comes to zombies. And if they ever do make a fully fledged zombies game, because a lot of people ask about that and clamors about it to this day, they would make a lot of money. It's up to Activision. I don't think Activision is ever going to sign off with a fully fledged zombies only solo game, but again, they have enough maps. They can just port all the maps onto like one disc and sell for $70 call a day, and people will buy that. People will buy that like a hotcakes. If they put like all the maps from War to War, like Black Ops Cold War, or even Black Ops, not all the way to Black Ops 7, but I would say for generous Black Ops Cold War, if they do that and put that on a disc, sell for $30, people would buy that. That would sell like hotcakes. Again, it's ultimately up to Activision. If Activision lets Treyarch do it, I just don't know if they will and they can. Hell, with modern day Treyarch, with so many people leaving and all the studios stitched together, the fact that Jason Blundell and co is not there anymore, I don't know how they will do it and like how that will come to fruition ultimately. But again, if it does come to fruition, would sell like hotcakes. People are begging for how I asked for a couple times throughout the years if there was ever gonna be a zombies solo only game. Again, I want it. I think a lot of people will buy it, and if Activision wants to make a lot of money and restore the good faith of Call of Duty, they would do that. But again, I don't think Activision has any care of doing that. They only care about money at this point. It's all about greed. The more money, the better for Activision, which again, I don't really understand, because if they did do a zombies only game, that would give them a buttload of money. But besides the point, again, this is me rambling about zombies for about 20 or so minutes. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you coming to this ramble, this discussion of a video, just reminiscing on old zombies and talk about just random things that happened recently in the zombie sphere of, video game news. Rate, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on another video. Out!